Team America won. You voted early. Those of you who didn't vote early, you voted on Election Day. Many of you did more than that. You were activists in 1,000 different ways, including getting other people to vote. We beat their army of zombies. That is their ground game. We beat their oligarchs and their $1.2 billion. We beat their legal tactics by their slip and fall lawyers, with our own serious lawyers who challenged them. We won the day, and let's hope this persists. I think it will. I think Donald Trump is a man who's really driven now, and he loves the country. God bless him. What a tremendous day yesterday, last night. You, the American people, spoke. And what did you say? I've had enough of this crap, is what you said. We don't want the borders open. We don't want illegal immigrants pouring into our country, the crime, the fentanyl. We want our economy back so things are affordable again. We don't want people talking down to us. This country belongs to us, we the people. We don't want to hear Hitler, neo-Nazis, deplorables, garbage anymore out of anybody's big mouth on the left and the Democrat Party. We're not interested in communism with Bernie Sanders and AOC. We're not interested in jihadism with Omar and Tlaib. We're not interested in Marxism in our streets, in Islamism in our streets. We want to take our classrooms back from the teachers' unions. We want the library to have real educational materials, not pornographic materials, and the list goes on and on and on. The American people spoke, and they didn't just speak in one place. They spoke across the country, even when you go to the darkest of the dark blue states. You look at New Jersey. You know, Trump lost New Jersey by 5%. That's unheard of. Trump lost New York by, I think it was 11%, but he lost it by 23%. You know, to Biden before. I mean, the numbers are unbelievable. In the cities, 24 to 25% of black men voted for Donald Trump. That's a killer for the Democrat Party, who thinks they have every single black person's vote. That's why when Obama goes out there and he says, you know, you got to vote for her, don't be misogynist. You know, I never understood this Obama thing. He got elected twice, yes, but he never had coattails. Anybody remember 2010? Do you remember 2010? No, he didn't remember 2010. I remember 2010. It's called the Tea Party. We rose up. We took the House of Representatives. We won like 66 seats. We won like 4 or 5 seats in the Senate. That was the Obama coattails. Politics is very simple. You either lead and or represent the interests of the people, or you're trying to control the people. Now, if you lead and you're trying to represent the true interests of the people and do so in a constitutional legal framework, you're going to be a winner. But if you're going to lie to the American people, if you're going to hide from the American people, if you're going to deceive the American people, if you're going to trash the American people, you're in the wrong damn country. You, the American people, you came home yesterday. That's what you did. It didn't matter if you were Democrats or Republicans or in between, didn't matter what color or religion, didn't matter what sex. They go on and on about all these women coming out in the suburbs to vote for Kamala. It didn't happen. Did women come out in a bigger number for her than Trump? Yes. But this massive number did not. So everybody's not preening to get to the poll to vote for partial birth abortion. That doesn't mean those resolutions and amendments don't pass. Many of them do. But it means people are smart. They're going to distinguish between that and the ability to feed their kids and the ability to make ends meet and the ability to secure the border and support law and order and support the military and so forth. You know, they don't vote, oh, I'm going to vote on abortion and straight Democrat. It apparently doesn't work that way, does it? Kamala Harris was the least qualified, least intelligent, least coherent candidate ever to run for president. I want you to remember something. The Democrat Party lied for 4 years about Biden. He hung on as long as he could. And they lied about it, the media lied about it, and Kamala Harris lied about it. Then they try and ram her through without a primary, without a single primary vote, without even a convention challenge, an open convention. They had what they called a virtual convention. What's a virtual convention? Nobody knows. We never had one before. What it is a bunch of liberal Democrats sitting in front of their laptop, in their underwear, eating bagels and donuts, slobbering all over their face. I vote for Kamala. Oh, I'm a delegate. That's what they did. But you were cut out of the entire process. Now, I want people to understand the extent of this victory. Now, when this was taking place last night, I texted one of my buddies at Fox, Brett Baer, and I said, this is 1980. Now, not in terms of the popular vote, where Reagan won 59%, or the Electoral College, where Reagan won almost all the states, because let's be honest, the demographics have changed. The demographics have changed significantly from 1980 and 1984 to today. But the impact is Reagan 1980, maybe even Reagan 1984. He had coattails. Do you realize he didn't lose? He didn't get less votes in a single county in the entire United States of America. You guys aware of that? It's not just the state. Not in a single county in any state of the 50 states did he do worse. Not in a single county. Now think about that. That's a landslide in modern terms. You're never going to get landslides with 55% of the vote again. It's not possible with the change of demographics. But you can get a landslide with 51 or 52% when your opponent gets 47, 47.5%, and you're blowing through one state after another. One city after another. They looked at Detroit, they looked at Milwaukee, they looked at New York City, they looked at the Bronx, they looked at Queens, they looked at Philadelphia. And they said, wow, she's underperforming Biden. Wow, the black community isn't coming out the way they did before. Wow, there are other people in these cities who are not necessarily minorities per se. They're not voting for her either. Now, I want to tell you something. I didn't tell my folks here. I didn't tell the crew here. I didn't even tell my family. I told one person who is the senior vice president. His name is Tommy, or vice president, who oversees our program on Fox. Well, he thinks he oversees it. I oversee it. But you get the point. He's a good guy. And he said, Mark, what do you think? I said, I'll tell you and nobody else because I don't want to be responsible for a tamping down motivation. I think we have it. He said, well, why do you say that? Well, because of basic logic. How can he be cutting into the black vote, according to the pollsters, the Latino vote, massive male support, cutting into the Jewish vote, and lose? I don't understand. How's that possible? In other words, he's changed the map. How can he be cutting into the union vote? Well, all these women are going to turn out in the suburbs. And I said, they may be a whole lot of them, but that doesn't balance out as he's breaking into the so-called strongholds of the Democrat Party. The genius of Donald Trump in this campaign is something we've never seen before. He went after the Democrat Party's base. I'm not talking about the Marxist jihadist base. I'm talking about he went into communities. Remember, the media were mocking. What's he doing in the Bronx? He's not going to win the Bronx. He didn't have to win the Bronx. Oh, what's he doing at the barber shop in the black community with these black guys? He's smart. Number one, he wants their vote. He does want unity. He wants to talk to people in every walk of life. He always did as a builder. Always did. You know, he's quite familiar with the Bronx and Queens. He was raised in Queens. He's quite familiar with minorities in New York City. He's worked with them. He hired them. So it's not strange for him. What's strange for him is, why aren't they voting for me? It's something that's bothered him a long time. So he went there. Absolute genius. Absolute genius. You didn't see Kamala Harris going into heavy-duty rural communities here and there, but not really much. So she had to fight to get back some of the base in the Democrat Party, and she failed. Why? Because she stands for nothing publicly, and she's a radical Marxist jihadist privately. And so enough people knew who she really was, and that she was concealing it, and she was lying to them. She was a freakish candidate, in hiding for 2/3 of the campaign. Then she comes out for friendly interviews and makes a mess of herself. Then she comes out with hostile interviews and keeps throwing the word Hitler around. Oh, that was a big one. That hooked the Jewish community right there. You get the point. It was a messy campaign. It was an unfocused campaign. Why? Because they had a lousy candidate. They had a lousy candidate. She didn't have to fight any challenges. She didn't have to fight any opposition whatsoever. It was handed to her. Now they're blaming Joe Biden. He deserves a little blame, don't get me wrong. Joe was hanging on as long as he could. But she facilitated that. How can she blame him when she was covering up for him? She liked being vice president. She figured, let's see if he gets through. If he doesn't get through this time, I'll be the titular head of the party, the titular leader for the presidency 4 years from now, even if Trump wins. So she was playing angles. And so now they're going to blame Biden. Biden's an idiot. Oh, you know, your people are, yeah. He's out there, you're garbage, you're this and that. He's an uncontrollable idiot. And he's still president, by the way. He's sitting there, president of the United States. Everyone knows he's a clown, but it doesn't matter. The problem is, nobody wanted her. They tried everything they could. They raised not 1 billion, 1.2 billion. The Democrat oligarchs, to try and create a fiction, as I said last week, and a falsity, something that didn't exist. And so there she is. I'm for the future. Let's turn the page. How about opportunity? Let's put all the negativity behind. I'm going, what is this, a female Dr. Phil? What the hell's going on here? What is this, a race for student government in 4th grade? What does she stand for? Oh, she's for fracking, but she wasn't for fracking. Oh, she's for Medicare, but she's not for Medicare. Oh, I'm for this. Go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I need a brace for my neck. I can't keep track of this. But here's the bottom line. I want to celebrate you, the American people, especially you, the great patriots who are here at Blaze, the great patriots who listen to my radio show all over the world, the great patriots right here again at Blaze. You did this.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.